You know, I can tell you all about the amazing things that you can do with your body, lowering your body weight set point, but until you actually experience it for yourself, I don't think it's gonna really click and it won't really become this full-blown addiction where the only thing you wanna do is speed up the metabolism and get stronger physically and mentally. If you're sick and tired of failing on keto and carnivore diets, you can't lose weight, you keep binging, you keep cheating on your diet, you keep yo-yo dieting, stay tuned because a new era is upon us. This video is not for those of you who need a very quick carnivore diet, urgent protocol to calm your autoimmune systems or any health issue you have. I don't want you to freak out because I will be advocating for reintroducing carbohydrates in this YouTube video. This video is for those of you who want to get in the best shape of their life, improve their mental health, and in the long term, improve their gut health above and beyond what carnivore can give you. That also means in the long term, when you improve your gut health, your skin health, your mental health, every single system in your body is going to be maximized and optimized above and beyond any amount of carnivore dieting or keto dieting that you can do. Hi, I'm Dr. Sarah Zaldivar, and I was featured on the first ever carnivore diet documentary called Reverse TV series. I also lost and maintained 35 pounds, mainly by raising my baseline dopamine level and lowering my body weight set point, as I explained in this YouTube video. I've also quit my nutrition and exercise physiology professor jobs at the American College of Sports Medicine, University of Miami, Miami-Dade College, DeVry, and the list goes on. So I could focus on research and coaching the thousands of clients that I have coached so far, and you can check out the testimonials on drsarahzaldivar.com. If you are sick and tired of constantly cheating or binging or feeling like you just can't follow any meal plan, chances are that you have destroyed your metabolism because you have dieted a lot in your history. Every time you've dieted in the past, especially if you did not work out really hard during the weight loss protocol, you lost muscle. As a matter of fact, when you've dieted without exercise, half of the weight that you lost was actually muscle, which is catastrophic for the speed of your metabolism, your gut health, and just your overall health. The amount of muscle on your frame determines your body weight set point. People with more muscle on their frame have lower and lower body weight set points, whereby they can be shredded and super happy and very energetic. This is why the more dieting cycles you've been through, the higher and higher and higher your body weight set point has gone. Ever notice how the more times you diet, the harder it gets to achieve the same results you got the first time? It's because you've lost so much muscle, you did not recover that muscle, and now it's even harder to lose the weight and you don't look as good, because when you lose weight without also preserving muscle or building muscle, you're not gonna look fit or hot or attractive or even healthy. You're just gonna look emaciated. You're just gonna look like a smaller version of you, but you're not really gonna have that muscle tone that is so critical for optimal health and also so attractive. You see, our notions of what is attractive and what is beautiful has to do with what we know is healthy. This is why a healthier person tends to be more attractive. All humans, we instinctively know that that person is healthy or not just by looking at them. This is why you'll never hear me apologize for helping people look better and be more attractive, because attractiveness and health go hand in hand. It is very difficult to be super unhealthy and be judged as attractive at the same time. Attractiveness is a measure of reproductive health and fertility, which is a major component of your overall health and hormonal health. Because building muscle and toning the body speeds up the metabolism and lowers your body weight set point, the bulk of my time with my clients is spent helping them build muscle to speed up the metabolism and lower their body weight set point. They actually get to eat way more calories while dropping fat and building muscle and feeling amazing and raising their baseline dopamine and optimizing for their serotonin levels, endorphins, and all of the happy molecules. And that way they can still hold a job and be super productive. If anything, they actually become more productive, because as you lose weight and you lower your body weight set point and raise your baseline dopamine, you actually feel like you're firing on all cylinders. You have more energy, you get to be more successful, more productive, and you get to raise your income at the same time. And the best part in all of this process is that they have no cravings. If you're dieting and you're having cravings, this means you're losing muscle as you're losing weight on the scale. That is not going to give you the result that you have in your mind. That's not going to give you the physique that we see on Instagram, because the physiques that we see on Instagram, they have optimal body composition. So they have a lot of muscle and very low body fat. For every 1 pound pound of muscle you add on your frame, you can speed up the metabolism by around 100 calories per day. And so if you're female and you're a newbie, or you haven't worked out for a while and you go back to the gym and start lifting, you get the newbie gains again, you can actually add 1 pound of muscle per month in the first year of training. So that translates to an extra 1,200 calories of metabolic speed per day. So it's not just that you can eat 1,200 extra calories, it's also that your hormones come back online. Your gut health is improved. Your gut motility, the single most important thing for your gut health, speeds up. Everything starts firing. Your brain comes back online. For men, you can double the rate of muscle gain. If you just started lifting, or you have not been lifting for a while and you start going to the gym and lifting the right way, you can actually add 2 pounds of muscle naturally per month in your first year of training. So that translates to an extra 24 pounds of muscle gain in your first year of training. So for men, they can speed up their metabolism by 2,400 extra calories a day. At rest, that's your basal metabolism. So now you naturally just burn 2,400 extra calories a day. And that increase in your muscle and your metabolism tracks closely with an increase in your baseline dopamine and also baseline serotonin, acetylcholine, the focus neurotransmitter, your natural opioids, your beta endorphins. Your pain tolerance goes up, both emotional and physical pain. You have more confidence. If you have to have an important conversation that you've been dreading, you won't even feel the pain or the trepidation around it. You just go for it. Basically, you become a more successful person. Also, the more muscle you have on your frame, the better your insulin resistance gets. You can actually reverse insulin resistance just by adding more muscle. Muscle is your depot for glucose or sugar in your blood. And so now every time you eat anything with carbohydrates, your muscles suck that in. And the more muscle you have, the less symptoms you have of insulin resistance, PCOS, PMS, menstrual cramps, and the list goes on and on. Also, adding more muscle improves your leptin sensitivity. Leptin is your satiety hormone. So when you become more leptin sensitive, you're not hungry. You can eat less. And so it's going to be very difficult for you to overeat calories. It's going to be very difficult for you to actually gain weight. Muscle also triggers the release of FGF21. Remember all of the craze with the sugar diet and how it triggers FGF21 and it helps you burn fat like crazy and it gives you all this energy? Well, muscle and strength training in the right way to actually progress triggers FGF21 release. Also, it triggers GLP-1. Instead of taking the Ozempics and the semaglutides, isn't it a much better idea to put on muscle mass and speed up your metabolism at the same time? Whereas the other GLP-1s that you're taking, they're gonna slow down your gut motility and wreck your gut health in the long term. Also, the more muscle you have, the more you're gonna trigger the release of fat-burning peptides and hormones called myokines. This is how you can truly become a fat-burning machine. You know how we all went into the keto and the carnivore and the ketosis, and it definitely has its applications and we loved it for its fat burning potential, but the problem is that it is capped at some point. It is gonna take way too long to put on enough muscle to speed up the metabolism enough so that you become this ultra fat burning machine when you're not introducing some amount of carbohydrates into your diet. This is not to mention the testosterone and growth hormone secretion with more muscle. And so basically when you're adding muscle and lowering your body weight set point, you're constantly feeling energized throughout the whole journey. You're never feeling like you're craving or you're tired or you can't do your job or your brain isn't functioning. Also, hunger is suppressed and your gut health is improved, and even things that you may not have been able to tolerate like gluten or food sensitivities or histamine, now all of a sudden, because leaky gut is reversed, you can tolerate a wider variety of foods. Adding muscle and strength training the right way is how you can eliminate bloating and cramps and small intestinal bacterial overgrowth and IBS symptoms and all of the digestive problems that people are dealing with. That drops inflammation, clears your skin, and reverses autoimmune symptoms. I find that tracking how much muscle you have on your frame is very, very motivating, because if every month, if you're a female, you're seeing that you're adding a pound of muscle and you're seeing how that is tracking with more energy, more productivity, more confidence, and more body fat loss and a better looking physique, that is very motivating to keep you going. And then you'll see how you can eat more calories and feel amazing. And so if you're not really tracking exactly how many pounds of muscle you're adding using those scales that a lot of gyms have, if you're not tracking, you might be able to convince yourself that you are actually training heavy enough, but you might not be. Now, if you absolutely do not have access to that, then the single best determinant of how much faster you're speeding up your metabolism is if you're going up in the weights, whatever exercise you're doing, are you able to go up in the weights week by week? If so, then you're most likely speeding up the metabolism, raising your baseline dopamine, and most importantly, lowering your body weight set point. You know, I can tell you all about the amazing things that you can do with your body, lowering your body weight set point, but until you actually experience it for yourself, I don't think it's gonna really click, and it won't really become this full-blown addiction where the only thing you want to do is speed up the metabolism and get stronger physically and mentally. I have so many clients that come to me from a carnivore dieting background, given that I was doing carnivore and talking so much about carnivore, and they just can't lose weight, even though they may have felt better initially, but at some point you also want to optimize for your health and the way that you look. And so the moment we start lowering their body weight set point, all of a sudden the scale starts dropping. I just onboarded a client last week. She just dropped 5 pounds in her first week working with me. And she only has 10 pounds left. And she's a tall woman, which means usually those last 15 pounds are the hardest, but she felt amazing. She had no cravings. She dropped weight. Now, if you need personalized support, expert guidance from the experience of coaching thousands of clients, not to mention the decades of teaching and researching in nutrition and exercise physiology. And if you want to save yourself the decades of experimentation to know what works for your body and how we can lower your body weight set point the fastest, then check out my coaching packages at drsarahzaldivar.com/coaching. I highly recommend the premium packages because they come with the unlimited email support, which is going to be very helpful when you're doing things differently than the way you used to do before. And if you use code YouTube, you will get 50% off all my coaching packages within the next 48 hours. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you like this video by giving this YouTube video a thumbs up, subscribing, and hitting that little notification bell icon so YouTube alerts you every time I post a new video. And also please share with a friend or family member who might be spinning their wheels, not understanding how metabolic adaptation and muscle loss is what makes fitness almost impossible for people to achieve easily. All right, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.